Have you ever wanted your chart to look like a large intestine? Well, now you can. I'm going to share two of my favorite old school indicators, the ADX and the Bollinger Bands. So let's give this chart a full colonoscopy and see what's inside. So the built-in NinjaTrader has an ADX indicator and it also has a Bollinger Band indicator. The indicators I have on this chart are souped up, super colorful versions of those. I've got a special candle color that prints when price breaks out of the Bollinger Bands on either side, the upper or the lower. I've got this background printing when the ADX is in a trend, down or up. And I've got these reversal stars also being triggered by the superior ADX indicator. I've actually got two instances of the superior ADX DMI from NINZA. One of them is printing the backgrounds, and this is left with all of the standard settings. I just disabled all of the markers on this. It will show the uptrend, the downtrend, potential peak, and also the exhaustion. And with this other instance of the superior ADX, I've got all of the markers disabled except for the exhaustion. And I've disabled the background and I've changed the period from a 3 to a 4. So that just means it's only catching the extra strong reversals. If this was still a 3, we'd have more of these ADX reversal signals appearing. But since I changed it to a higher period, we're only getting the extra strong reversals. See, this is this morning's price action. We got one at 940 and one at 1040. That was it. For the superior Bollinger Band, all I have is the bar color enabled, none of the other markers. I've got this region enabled, but I could turn it off if it's just too much. You know, that might be easier for some people to see. I like having it on. And then the other indicator that I have on here is the solar wind, which is just painting the candle colors red and green, except when we're breaking out of the Bollinger Bands. Then the Bollinger Band takes over and prints the candles pink or blue if we're breaking above. So pre-market, you see these Bollinger Bands are tight, very tight, waiting for a breakout. A couple minutes into the market open, we start breaking out. These Bollinger Bands start widening out. Our ADX is in a downtrend, solar wind is in a downtrend. We're below the center line on the Bollinger Band, breaking below the lower Bollinger Band. This continues all the way down until this candle, we finally break back within the Bollinger Band. So after we've had a breakout of the Bollinger Band, when we close back in the Bollinger Band, that's when I am potentially looking for price to retest the center line. Our first candle back in the Bollinger Bands is still red from the solar wind, although we're getting a reversal signal from the ADX. The ADX is not printing any trend color on this candle. It's gone black. Here we've got solar wind turning green, and eventually the ADX trend turns green too. We make it back up to the center line. Once we get a close above the center line, we get another little push up towards the upper Bollinger Band. From the close of that candle to the top of this candle is over 20 points. We're getting some chop here, but we are still in this light blue zone on the Bollinger Band, which means we are above the middle band of the Bollingers. Here we get a nice close below the middle band on the Bollinger. Solar wind is red, ADX is red. Price makes it back down to the lower Bollinger Band. Bounce off the lower Bollinger Band, get a retest of the center line. We break above the center line. ADX is green, solar wind is green. We get a nice move up. Price comes back inside the Bollinger Band. Solar wind is red. ADX is not printing a trend. We do drift back to the center line, but if you would have gotten in here and the center line catches up with your entry and you still haven't gone anywhere, it's a good time to reassess your position there. And anytime I'm taking these Bollinger Band trend breakouts, here I just want to make sure that we're clearing previous lows. If I'm going to get into a trend break short, I just want to make sure that this is clearing any recent lows. This breakout, we are taking out previous highs here. Get a nice little move up there. I used this combination for a long time. Definitely one of my favorites. I've gone through so many different workspaces and chart setups. I'm kind of using this channel as an outlet just to show all the different things that I've tried and letting people make up their own minds whether it's something that might be useful for their own trading. Everyone's going to find success a little bit differently. Let's go back to yesterday. It was actually 5 in the morning. Got a nice little ADX signal. They don't happen too often, especially when I have the extra strong reversal settings on there. This is yesterday afternoon towards the close. Nice ADX reversal. You see the ADX trend color in the background. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Get some ADX reversal signals. Here we had a tightening of the Bollinger Bands. When they're squeezing together, you know price is getting ready to break out at some point. Here we got a breakout to the upside. On this candle, we break above previous highs to the left. Have a nice little push up before we start wicking off of the upper Bollinger Band here. Get a nice ADX reversal signal. Let's go back to yesterday's open. Here's yesterday pre-market. Here's the first candle. See, we're breaking out, but we're not breaking below the most recent lows. This candle does not break below the recent lows either. This candle tries to, but doesn't close below the recent lows. And it goes back with inside the Bollinger Band. We're still staying below the center Bollinger line too. You only get one bullish ADX background, but this is definitely not a candle I'm going to go long on. We've got a big wick right on the center line of the Bollinger Bands. Tiny little candle. Not much to go on there for a long. Here we get a Bollinger Band break. Everything's bearish. ADX trend is bearish. We're definitely breaking below previous lows. Get a nice 25-point move down in a few minutes. Everything's staying pretty bearish. Solar wind turns green here, but we're still below the center line. ADX is not printing any kind of bullish background. I want to have at least a couple things going in my favor before I get into a trade, not just one of these signals. Another benefit of using indicators in pairs or trios. Solar wind turns green again here, but look at these wicky tiny little candles, still below the 20. No inspiration to go long yet. Here, this candle. If anything, this is some inspiration to go long. We got a decent full-bodied candle there. ADX background is green, solar wind is green. We got a close above the center line of the Bollinger Band. You know, we could be looking to test the upper Bollinger Band. Price hopped up over 15 points right there. If you're still trading past 1030, we got a nice Bollinger Band breakout, taking out recent lows, a nice little dip. We're breaking below the lower Bollinger Band, taking out recent lows. The ADX is red, everything's bearish. We get a close back within the Bollinger Bands, and we drift back up to the center line. There was no ADX reversal stars today. I like the higher setting. You don't get as many signals, but when you do, they're definitely more quality. So there's a little glimpse into some of the best workspaces that I've set up in the past and indicator combinations. Definitely don't take my advice for anything. Try it out for yourself. See if it's something that works for you. If it's not clicking and you're not getting it in a fairly decent amount of time, it's not working for you, do something different. There's so many different ways to trade out there. These are just some of the many things that have worked for me in the past. I like to share all the different things that I've tried in trading, the things that I like, the things that I don't like. Hopefully at least a few people find some of this information useful or entertaining. All of these indicators are NINZA indicators. There's a link in the description. And if you use code MonkeyMan, you get the best price always. Even if they're having some crazy sale, you get an even bigger discount when you use code MonkeyMan. I've been using the NINZA indicators almost exclusively for like the past 7 years. Tried many other companies, many other indicators. The level of customization built into all the different NINZA indicators, that's what finally allowed me to fully envision all these different systems that I had in my head, to the point where I could really see the patterns much easier over and over every single day. It just finally ingrained it in my memory, so I just never stopped using them. Either way, you can use the built-in Bollinger Bands and do some similar things. There's a whole lot of options out there in the wonderful world of trading. Thanks for watching, and thanks to anyone that uses any of my affiliate codes. Greatly appreciated. I hope you got some good ideas for your own trading. If you're enjoying this content, please like and subscribe. Have a great day.